Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ron, and today we're going to be talking about difficulties in Deep Rock Galactic and what people generally play on. I put up a poll not too long ago. This has 9,000 votes on it over just 4 days. You guys are insane with the votes, and thanks everybody for voting on this. This was just asking, what difficulty do you usually play on, and why? So we had Hazard 1 through 5. We didn't have any modded hazards because there's not a whole lot of people that play on modded, and for whatever reason on YouTube, I'm only allowed to post like 5 things on a poll. I wish I could go up to like 10 or 20, because I would really like to do that and have like these giant breakdowns of stuff, but unfortunately we're left with 5 at the moment. Hopefully that gets expanded in the future. So out of these, Hazard 4 was picked the most often at 49%, almost 50%. So almost half of all people that voted on this say that Hazard 4 is their go-to mission level. 33% Hazard 3, 15% at Hazard 5, 3% at Hazard 2, and 1% at Hazard 1. So not too surprising that only 1% said Hazard 1. Hazard 1, I don't think there's a whole lot of people that play it, even who are new to the game. You're starting out at Hazard 2 by default. So I imagine a lot of new players start out there and kind of get the hang of things pretty quickly, and then want to move up and then find that Hazard 3 or Hazard 4 is that sweet spot for them. A lot of people said this. Hazard 3 is a great spot for like leveling up things or grinding out missions. Hazard 1 and 2 might seem a little bit too easy. That's not to like downplay anybody who does play on Hazard 1 and 2 frequently. Like, by all means, play on whatever hazard difficulty you want to. You know, there's no issue with that, and I don't want to make this video seem like you have to play on the higher difficulties or anything. Play on whatever difficulty you want. If somebody insists that you have to play on a higher difficulty, don't listen to them. A lot of people played on Hazard 3 saying that this was kind of their chill spot or their mission grinding spot, or if they were playing with new friends, Hazard 3 was a great option for them, which I would agree. Hazard 3 kind of fits that nice role, where if you're used to playing other horde shooters or other PvP games, other PvE games, with friends and stuff like that, Hazard 3 is probably going to be a pretty good go-to to start out with, and then you guys are probably going to move up to Hazard 4, which is kind of what we got throughout the comments. People saying, I started on Hazard 3, played it quite a bit, really enjoyed it, wanted a little bit more of a challenge, or I was getting up levels and things seemed to be kind of like I could kind of steamroll stuff at points. I kind of wanted to move up. And then Hazard 4 was usually the sweet spot for a lot of people once they kind of got to that level, or once they got more familiar with the game, or if they were coming from more of like a horde-based shooter game. Say they were playing like Left 4 Dead, Killing Floor, Payday, something like that, where it's like they already kind of have experience with this, they kind of know movement, they know how to target different things down pretty quickly, and then it's just sort of getting levels. So then, you know, immediately jump into Haz 4, you can get a lot more experience that way, you can have some crazy events happening, and there is still the chance of failure. Hazard 4 can potentially be more difficult than Hazard 5, depending on the cave layout that you get, the enemies that spawn, the random RNG chances of different things. You know, you might get an Omen Tower that destroys your team because nobody brought like high single target damage. You might get a Dreadnought that spawns and your team is just running out of ammo. You might get double detonators and a prospector or something that just makes the whole mission way more difficult. Maybe people get swarmed by exploders or acid spitters or any number of things that could happen to the team. So there is a much higher chance of things just going south there. And then we had the 15% saying that they play on Hazard 5. These people are generally more veteran players that I see pretty often posting either to their own channels about Deep Rock or them hopping into like my open lobbies that were playing on Hazard 5. Hazard 5 is kind of a roll of the dice. You might get a mission that's actually not too bad. I've had plenty of Hazard 5 missions that have not been that bad, or we've had just a really solid team comp that has complemented everything well, and we've just steamrolled Haz 5. We've also had missions where we had like a super strong comp like that and just get steamrolled ourselves, get completely destroyed by something. We get a Tyrant Weed, we get 2 detonators, we get an escort mission, and we get a prospector on top of that. Sometimes even on Hazard 4 that happens, and then just, you know, you get destroyed, you run out of resources. Just one, not even wrong move, but maybe not the best move, could lead to the team's downfall. Any of those things can happen. So Haz 5, I would say, is definitely much more of just a random crapshoot as to whether or not you're going to be able to do it. As well as there was some people in the comments that said they were able to do Haz 5 and like elite deep dives and stuff like that, but it stressed them out, so they didn't want to do that. Haz 4 wasn't as stressful, and Haz 3 wasn't super stressful, so they were more comfortable playing that, especially if they just want to chill out after a work day or a school day or whatever it might be with friends. Currently, we have a poll up discussing the most picked and the least picked secondaries, or at least the least picked secondaries will be going up later today. I'm not sure exactly when this video is going out, but I would really appreciate if you guys voted on that. Be sure to get subscribed if you're not already. These videos are super fun to make, and I love talking to you guys. And special thanks to the supporters of this channel. These are my members over here on YouTube and my patrons over on Patreon. They get early access to videos just like this If you'd like to have access to that, you can click on the links in the description or the join button down below. Thanks for that. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye!